Good morning to all our viewers and welcome to Breakfast News. I'm Dinitza Faith Lingdor. Let's begin the bulletin this morning with the headlines. Hit and run at Nongpor. Truck driver flees scenes after fatal crash. Manipur launches 3-day Pulse Polio Drive 2026 to immunize over 2.90 lakh children across the state. Amit Shah launches PM Family Care Tracker pilot in Gujarat to digitally monitor health, nutrition and education of children. Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights Global South priorities in landmark address to Seychelles National Assembly. Extra time heroics sends Canada into FIFA World Cup round of 16 for the first time in history. Time now for news in details. We start with the local news. A 50-year-old man was killed in a hit-and-run accident at National Highway 6 near Makopia in Nongpor, Ribhoi district on Sunday evening. The deceased, identified as Christopher Dingdaw, was reportedly crossing the road at around 7:30 p.m. when a speeding truck knocked him down and ran over him before fleeing the scene. He died on the spot. Nongpor police reached the accident site, shifted the body to civil hospital for post-mortem and launched an investigation. A search operation is underway to trace the absconding truck, with alerts issued to nearby police stations, including those along the Shillong route. Let's now look at some regional news. Manipur has launched the 3-day Pulse Polio Immunization Program 2026 under National Immunization Day, targeting over 2.90 lakh children under the age of 5 across the state. The campaign was inaugurated in Imphal and rolled out across all districts, with hundreds of vaccination booths set up and door-to-door coverage planned over the 3 days. In Churachandpur district, health officials including Dr. Henkonin Mate and Dr. Kohli Sanya Monica, supervised the launch. Authorities said India has been polio-free for 12 years, but stressed continued immunization is essential, urging full public participation to ensure every child is protected.
Today is the launching day for Intensified Pulse Polio Immunization, or the National Immunization Day 2026. So it is a very important public health initiative which has been taken up by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and which is dedicated to all the children to make sure that all the children are protected from polio. And then our country, India, has been polio-free for the last 12 years, and this has been made possible because of the sustained effort of the health workers through intensive immunization. And we need to sustain this till polio itself is totally eradicated globally. And because of that, every year whenever any IPPI or Pulse Polio program is conducted, we have to make sure that all the children under 0 to 5 years of age is brought to any polio booth for vaccination.
For this IPPI 2026, target population is 25,823 for Chichamur district. And then there will be 331 booths. Booth day is today, that is 28th of June. And then from tomorrow, workers will be going house to house, tomorrow and day after. So they will try to immunize all the children below 5 years within these 3 days.
A landslide in Arunachal Pradesh Lower Siang district has blocked the natural flow of the Siju River, leading to the formation of an artificial lake in the region. District authorities have issued a warning to downstream areas, including parts of Assam, where the river is known as the Gai, cautioning residents about potential risk. Officials have expressed concerns over the possibility of the water body breaching due to continued rain-induced accumulation, and precautionary measures are being closely monitored to ensure public safety. Let's now turn our attention to some national news. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has launched the PM Family Care Tracker pilot project in Gandhinagar, Gujarat to digitally track health, nutrition and education indicators from pregnancy up to 18 years of age. The integrated platform will use a unique ID-linked birth registration number of or ABHA ID to monitor vaccination, malnutrition, school enrollment and dropout data while generating risk alerts for timely intervention. Shah said the initiative will strengthen last-mile delivery of welfare schemes. He also released health passports for children and flagged off electric buses under the PM e-bus service in Gandhinagar.
આ કેર ટ્રેકરના માધ્યમથી જન્મ મૃત્યુ પંજીકરણ, સ્વાસ્થ્ય, પોષણ, શિક્ષા અને સમાજ કલ્યાણ આ બધા જ વિભાગોને એક સાથે જોડી અને લાભાર્થીઓ સુધી પહોંચવાનો એક સુંદર પ્રયાસ, એક પ્રયોગાત્મક રૂપે આજે ગાંધીનગર લોકસભાની અંદર થયો છે. નરેન્દ્ર મોદીજીએ દેશના વડાપ્રધાન તરીકે દેશના સ્વાસ્થ્ય ક્ષેત્રની અંદર આમૂલચૂર પરિવર્તન, મને એની બહુ વિશેષ વાત નથી કરવી. દેશને જરૂર હોય એટલા ડોક્ટરોના નિર્માણથી લઈ 5 લાખ સુધીની બધા ઇલાજો મફત દરેક 70 કરોડ નાગરિકોને મળે ત્યાં સુધીની વ્યવસ્થા કરી, દવાઓ સસ્તી મળે, હેલ્થ ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર આગળ વધે, આયુષના માધ્યમથી આપણી પરંપરાગત આરોગ્યની પદ્ધતિઓ પુનર્જીવિત થાય, એમાં રિસર્ચ એન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટના માધ્યમથી એનો સાયન્ટિફિક ડેટા ઊભો થાય અને એની સ્વીકૃતિ વધે, ત્યાં સુધી અનેક કાર્યક્રમો નરેન્દ્રભાઈ હાથમાં લીધા અને આજે એના મોનિટરિંગ માટે પીએમ હેલ્થ કેર ટ્રેકર એની શરૂઆત થઈ છે.
Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said that the vision of a developed India depends on strong and prosperous villages. He was speaking at a rural development conference in New Delhi, reviewing ongoing schemes and reforms. He announced that Mangra will end on June 30th and the new Viksit Bharat VBG Ramji scheme will be launched from July 1st. The scheme will increase guaranteed employment from 100 to 125 days and focus on village-led development through Gram Sabha-approved projects, aiming to ensure continuous rural employment and infrastructure growth.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत, विकसित भारत के लिए विकसित गांव और समृद्ध गांव, ऐसे गांव जो रोजगार युक्त हो, गरीबी मुक्त हो, जहां बुनियादी सुविधाएं हो, स्वावलंबी हो, और उसी के लिए ये ग्रामीण विकास सम्मेलन हो रहा है 2 दिन का. एक दिन ऑफिसर्स बैठ के इस पर चिंतन कर रहे हैं। ग्रामीण विकास की हर एक योजनाओं के बारे में, चाहे वो विकसित भारत जीराम जी हो, आवास की योजना हो, सड़कों की योजना हो, या हमारे ग्रामीण आजीविका मिशन हो, वाटर सेट की स्कीम्स हो, पेंशन की योजनाएं हो, सब पर विस्तार से चर्चा और बातचीत चल रही है। कहाँ स्ट्रेंथ, कौन सी चीजें हमारी ताकत है और कहाँ कमजोरियां हैं, कहाँ रिफॉर्म्स करना है, चीजें ठीक करना है, उस पर आज सारे ऑफिसर्स बातचीत कर रहे हैं। सुझाव भी आएंगे, वो भी लिए जा रहे हैं। और कल हमारे सारे ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री दिल्ली आएंगे, उनके सामने प्रेजेंटेशन होगा इन योजनाओं को ठीक ढंग से जमीन पर उतारने के लिए। और उसके बाद सभी ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री अपनी बात भी रखेंगे। हमारा पूरा देश बिना किसी भेदभाव के एक है, हम सब भारत माँ के लाल, और इसलिए हर एक राज्य में गांव का विकास सुनिश्चित हो, रोजगार मिले और बाकी योजनाओं का बेहतर क्रियान्वयन हो। इसमें यह ग्रामीण विकास सम्मेलन मील का पत्थर साबित होगा।
Let's take a quick look now at what's making news across the globe. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the National Assembly of Seychelles, marking his 20th address to a foreign parliament or National Assembly since assuming office. The Prime Minister called for stronger global support for the Global South and small island developing states, stressing that countries contributing the least to climate changes should not bear its greatest consequences. The address adds Seychelles to the growing list of nations whose legislatures have been addressed by Prime Minister Modi, reflecting India's expanding diplomatic engagement and commitment to strengthening partnerships across the world.
The Global South, and especially the island nations, are the most impacted by climate change. Its effects are already visible on our coastlines, in the marine ecosystems, in weather patterns, and in our communities. We both firmly believe that those who have contributed the least to climate change should not bear the greatest burden of its consequences. Climate action must be guided by fairness, responsibility, and equity. This is the essence of climate justice.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed the need for climate justice, stating that countries contributing the least to emissions should not face the highest impacts of climate change. He said climate action must be guided by fairness, responsibility, and equity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also reaffirmed India's commitment to small island developing states, assuring that their concerns will remain a priority in global climate discussions.
Honorable members, the Global South, and especially the island nations, are the most impacted by climate change. Its effects are already visible on our coastlines, in the marine ecosystems, in weather patterns, and in our communities. We both firmly believe that those who have contributed the least to climate change should not bear the greatest burden of its consequences. Climate action must be guided by fairness, responsibility, and equity. This is the essence of climate justice. India has sought to lead by example. Over the last decade, we have undertaken one of the world's largest expansions of renewable energy. We have championed sustainable lifestyle through Mission Life, lifestyle for environment.
The Indian Navy's frontline stealth frigate INS Tarkash participated in the Republic of Seychelles' 50th National Day celebrations, reflecting the strong and enduring partnership between the two nations. Led by Sub-Lieutenant Nagdev, the 29th member naval contingent, including 3 women personnel, took part in the ceremonial parade, showcasing the professionalism and discipline of the Indian Navy. Currently on a goodwill visit to Seychelles, INS Tarkash has also been engaged in professional exchanges and community outreach programs aimed at enhancing bilateral cooperation and strengthening maritime security across the Indian Ocean region. Rescue teams in Venezuela continued a desperate search for survivors after a devastating earthquake left thousands missing. Emergency workers are digging through collapsed structures, racing against time to save people trapped beneath the rubble, while the death toll and damage assessment continue to rise. Seychelles celebrated its 50th National Day with President Dr. Patrick Hermione delivering a national address reflecting on the country's progress over 5 decades. He highlighted key achievements in development and unity, while outlining priorities for sustainable growth and youth empowerment. The Golden Jubilee celebrations underscored national pride and the country's visions for the future.
We have remained steadfast in our commitment to friendship, mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and constructive international cooperation. The progress we celebrate today has been made possible through the resilience and determination of the Seychellois people, strengthened by the friendship, solidarity, and cooperation of our international partners. For this, we express our sincere gratitude. As we celebrate this Golden Jubilee, we reaffirm our commitment to strengthening the bonds of friendship that unite our countries and to working together in pursuit of a more peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable future. Once again, welcome to Seychelles, and thank you for honoring us with your presence in this memorable occasion. My fellow Seychellois, as we celebrate 50 years of our nation's independence, it is only fitting that I continue this address in our mother tongue, Creole Seychellois, the language that reflects our identity, our heritage, and the enduring spirit of our people. Le peuple Seychellois, bonsoir. 50 ans déjà. 50 ans passés, je me rappelle très bien, mon encore un enfant de 12 ans. Et mon toussé, mon petit descend au stade populaire pour une témoigne naissance mon pays, c'est.
And now on to some news from the world of sports. Sports Minister Wailat Mikishela attended the grand finale of the 16th edition of the 6-a-side football tournament 2026 at Chilang Rai as the chief guest. The tournament, featuring 31 teams, concluded with Yalang Sports Club defeating Resilience Club 1-0 to lift the championship trophy and claim a cash prize of Rs 30,000. The runners-up received 15,000 Earlier, Minister Shila played in a friendly match where two Jawai veterans defeated Chilang Raj veterans 5-1. Addressing the gathering, the minister announced that Jaintia Hills will host 3 disciplines during the upcoming national games and praised the community's investment in developing the artificial football turf to promote sports among local youth.
Ka game lani ketika World Cup ko watang di India men participate ko huni de chamit kate pendu ko ko popular yong kini ke game. Tandai yang yong ke Meghalaya hi kam de TV hi de perchangi punku ya kini ke tournament ya kini ke game. Hawa dele in support nedoki grassroots football to the M hockey chnong gruper the support hi football club kam TV ka Sarkar Meghalaya ya kawan-kawan gawat participate haka I-League 3 yarap ka Sarkar Meghalaya San Paulak ya gawat participate haka I-League haka top to A crore ni madap dang A ka check crore yang Shillong le jong go participate haka I-League bat kami man katte jan ngorok de tip video bici kubor lene de kneu lai ku TV pi pat wan harot hai tai hapo mo khanu uyo bi to kami man katte ka jing chna ya ka football stadium ko he tam hapo ri India to da lai ka chukmat hini hapo Meghalaya ge yong I.
Canada etched its name into FIFA World Cup history with a dramatic extra-time victory, securing a place in the round of 16 for the first time ever. After a fiercely contested match remained deadlocked through regulation time, Canada found the breakthrough in extra time with a stunning match-winning goal. The historic triumph not only sealed qualification for the knockout stage but also marked the nation's greatest achievement on football's biggest stage. Jubilant celebrations erupted among the players and fans as Canada advanced, keeping its World Cup dream alive and setting up a place among the tournament's final 16 teams. India's Women's T20 World Cup journey ended in a heartbreak as Australia pulled off a record-breaking chase at Lord's, defeating Harmanpreet Kaur's side by 6 wickets to book a place in the semi-finals. Batting first, India posted 170 for 4, powered by a strong opening stand between Smriti Mandhana and Safali Verma, following a blazing finish from captain Harmanpreet Kaur, who smashed 56 of just 26 balls. Australia overcame early setbacks and steadily rebuilt their innings, with Elise Perry and Ashley Gardiner producing crucial half-centuries. The pair guided Australia to 172 for 4 in 19 overs, completing the highest successful chase in Women's T20 World Cup history and ending India's semi-final hopes. And now the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. Minimum temperature 30 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 34 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 76%, rainfall 9.2 millimeter. Moving on to Shillong, minimum temperature 25 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 28 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 74%, rainfall 1.1 millimeter. Meanwhile in Jawai, minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 27 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 77%, rainfall 140 millimeters. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jawai says moderate rain with thunderstorm likely at many places. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at the headlines one more time. 50-year-old man killed in NH6 hit and run at Nongpor. Truck driver flees scene after fatal crash. Manipur launches 3-day Pulse Polio Drive 2026 to immunize over 2.90 lakh children across the state. Amit Shah launches PM Family Care Tracker pilot in Gujarat to digitally monitor health, nutrition and education of children. Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights Global South priorities in landmark address to Seychelles National Assembly. Extra Time Heroics sends Canada into FIFA World Cup round of 16 for the first time in history. Thank you for watching the Breakfast News. Stay tuned for the KHASI News Bulletin coming up next. You can also follow us on social media platforms for the latest news updates. Until then, this is Dinitza Faith signing off. Have a wonderful day.